On Global TV News Express, VP Shettima says international cooperation path to resolving global challenges. Federal government to improve rail workers' welfare, plus NIS to commence 24,000 passport daily production. Hello and a very warm welcome to all our viewers in Nigeria and around the world to Global TV News Express live in Nigeria's capital, Abuja. I am Fauziya Lukman. President Bola Tinubu has approved the nomination of Dr. Olayemi Michael Kadusu to serve as the new governor of the Central Bank of Nigeria for a term of 5 years at a first instance, pending his confirmation by the Nigerian Senate. Special advisor to the president, Ajuri Ngilali, said the directive is in conformity with Section 8, Subsection 1 of the Central Bank of Nigeria Act 2007, which vests in the President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria the authority to appoint the governor of 4 deputy governors for the Central Bank of Nigeria, subject to confirmation by the Senate. Similarly, President Tinubu have approved the nomination of 4 new deputy governors of the Apex Bank for a term of 5 years at the first instance, pending their confirmation by the Nigerian Senate. The deputy governors are Emen Nana Osoro, Mohammed Sani Abdullahi Dattijo Philip Ikezio, and Bala M. Bello. President Bola Tinubu will on Sunday depart Abuja for the United States to attend the 78th UN General Assembly, which will take place from 18th of September to 26th of September 2023 in New York City. Our correspondent Uyi Agumofegbe reports that the president on the sidelines of the UNGA is scheduled to prioritize investment drive as part of his conversation with his counterparts around the world in order to advance his objective of aggressive economic development and diplomatic pursuit, as well as attract foreign direct investment into the country, as he did at the recent G20 summit in India.
Advisor on media and publicity to the president, Ajuri Ngilali, stated that President Tinubu will actively participate in 2 major summits at the UN, aside from the general debates of the Assembly. President Tinubu, according to him, will also meet with major chief executives and leaders of multinational firms cutting across multiple sectors of the economy as part of a series of crucial meetings and side activities that will have wide-ranging ramifications on the Nigerian economy.
Sunday, His Excellency President Bola Ahmed Tinubu will be departing Abuja for New York to attend the United Nations General Assembly of 2023. Of course, aside from the engagements he's going to be having at the General Assembly, aside from the active participation that the Nigerian delegation will be engaging in at the Assembly, there are a series of very important side activities that will have wide-ranging ramifications on the Nigerian economy. The President, again, focusing in on his economic development diplomacy, will be having investment at the front and center of his conversations with his counterparts around the world. And these engagements include bilateral meetings on the sidelines, the President of Comoros, with the President of South Africa, with the President of the European Union Commission, with the Prime Minister of the Netherlands, with the King of Jordan, with the Algerian President, with the Brazilian President, and with the Spanish Prime Minister.
Similarly, the president will also be presiding over the Nigeria Small and Medium-Scale Business Summit to ensure that Nigeria keys in on opportunities that are being presented by Nigeria-owned small and medium-scale enterprises. The presidential spokesman said this is aimed at attracting foreign direct investment, jobs, and new tax revenues to the shores of the country. Uyi Agumofwebe, reporting for Global Television News. Briefing State House correspondent.
Vice President Kashim Shettima said cooperation is the compass and the most realistic path towards maximizing the opportunities and resolving challenges before us. Shettima made the disclosure on Friday in his address to world leaders at the ongoing G77 China Leaders Summit at the Palace Convention, Havana, Cuba. Speaking to an assembly of heads of state and the government, the UN Secretary-General Antonio Guterres and delegates from over 100 countries from the global south, the Vice President expressed Nigeria's commitment to toe the path of partnership with members of states of the G77 China towards addressing global challenges. Vice President Shettima, who lauded the contributions of youth in the nation's quest for science, technology and innovation advancement, emphasized that Nigeria's demographic advantage is not limited to the absence of the aging population. Nigeria stands as a beacon of youth, talent and innovation. In line with the President Tinubu renewed Hope Agenda Wiki on Friday in Abuja gave out 10 cars to 10 third-class traditional rulers in FCT. Sandra Akwa has the details.
And this is during the event held at the premises of the Federal Capital Territory Administration, said the initiative is aimed at helping the traditional leaders carry out their respective duties effectively.
We believe that every sector, every system has a role to play. Particularly the traditional rulers have a role to play in terms of security. You know your communities better than anybody. You know those who live within your communities. So you'll be able to identify those who look like strangers where you stay. Police alone, no security agency can perform this function without the support of the traditional rulers. And so we believe that we must partner together to achieve this fight against insecurity. And it is also believed that the government must also encourage you and provide you with necessary logistics to do your work. And part of that is mobility. Mobility. I can't see how traditional rulers will be burdened taxes, entering public transport. That is unacceptable. Mr. President has directed that that cannot continue to go on. And we must do everything possible to make it convenient for you to do your assignments.
The minister also stated that allowances will be provided in addition to what the local government councils currently allocate to traditional chiefs.
As FCT too, Mr. President has directed me that we must also on our own provide how we can give some allowances, adding to whatever the local government is giving, so that you can be very comfortable.
The beneficiaries expressed gratitude to President Bola Tinubu for deeming it fit to provide them with cars for ease of discharge of their traditional responsibilities. Sandra Akpa, reporting for Global TV News.
Finance and Account in the Ministry of Works, Yusuf Dahiru Giral, has fully complied with the government's directive to proceed on posting to another ministry. The information going on media that states that the former DFA of Works has filed the federal government directive on posting is misleading and baseless, saying the posting of staff by the Office of the Accountant General of the Federation, OAGF, is an internal issue within the federal service and no staff has been reported to have reduced the directive at the ministry till date. And so, members of the public are hereby urged to disregard the information making rounds within some sections of the media that there was a drama as to the effect of refusal of posting by any staffs within the ministry. In furtherance of its effort to secure the length and breadth of Nigeria as well as its territorial sovereignty for the nation's economic growth, plans are underway by the Nigerian Army to rejig its training and operational activities for effective service delivery. Chief of Army Staff Lieutenant General Tawheed Lagbaja stated this at the closing ceremony of the Chief of Army Staff Combined Second and Third Quarter Conference in Abuja. Kike Lomo Oke.
Army Boss explained that the conference had afforded the Army the platform to review its training operational and during the conference has reinforced the task and clearly depicts the challenges ahead of the Nigerian Army.
Chief of Army Staff's quarterly conference participants, I believe this gathering has again awakened us to the reality that we have a job to do. The briefs we listened to And our deliberations on pertinent issues during this conference have reinforced the task ahead of us and clearly depicted that it's not going to be easy.
General Lagbaja also reaffirmed the commitment and capability of the officers and soldiers of the Nigerian Army in ensuring safe and secured environment for good governance and socio-economic development in collaboration with sister service and other security agencies. He further charged all formation commanders to calibrate their strengths to deal decisive blow on the nation's adversaries.
However, as I affirmed during the opening ceremony, I do not doubt your competencies and commitment to ensuring we join hands with our sister services and other security agencies to create the enabling environment necessary for good governance by the political leadership and economic prosperity for our people. Let me reiterate that we cannot afford to show a jot of weakness because the adversaries we fight are emboldened by weakness.
The Chief of Army Staff also presented checks to 10 maiden beneficiaries of Nigerian Army Personnel Insurance Scheme in an effort to provide financial security and support families of personnel who died in active service. According to him, the gesture was an expression of Nigerian Army's appreciation of the service and sacrifice of its personnel in defense of the sovereignty and territorial integrity of the nation. The Army Chief expressed appreciation to the Commander-in-Chief of the Armed Forces of Nigeria for his intervention in repositioning the Nigerian government and constitution of Nigeria. Kike Lomo Ukeri, Global Television News, Abuja.
Chief of Defense Staff General Christopher Musa has called on Defense Police Officers' Wife Association, DAPOA, to embrace unity and teamwork so as to surmount the challenges in the barrack community and beyond. The defense chief made this call when the association's president led a delegation of the wives of the service on a courtesy call to defense headquarters in Abuja. Kikelomo Ukeri brings us more. DAPOA was created to unify all serving officers of the armed forces with that mandate to ensure socio-economic development in the barracks. The Chief of Defense Staff appreciated DAPOA for taking care of the barrack community, saying there is need to ameliorate the situation in the barracks as well as the less privileged.
That we can continue to foster that unity. We know being in the military, being in the barracks, people outside look at us differently. So if on our own we also look at ourselves differently, then we are suffering from both sides. So we should learn to unite and work together as a team. It is only then that we can face the outside.
In her remark, President Defense Police Officers' Wife Association says the organization is committed to harness and redefine the potentials of all women in the military and police community, which enable a solid support system to their spouses, thereby contributing to better of technology. Speaking further, Alkali pointed out that transportation constitutes a major organ in promoting economic growth across countries worldwide. As such, the ministry, according to him, will ensure the completion of the President Bola Tinubu standard station gauge rail in a very short while. Following the numerous challenges posed by the continued presence of unauthorized persons on the various highways around the country in the guise of revenue collection, the Acting Inspector General of Police, IGP Olukayode Egbetokun, has ordered all state commissioners of police to immediately commence the dismantling of such non-security points within their areas of responsibilities. Kikelomo reports that the acting IGP gave the order while meeting with strategic police managers in Abuja.
Received by the police operatives, some officers are engaging in mischievous activities such as the seizure of vehicles, collection of fines, and other unlawful activities in the checkpoint. In lieu of this, the Acting Inspector General of Police stated that to ensure accountability and transparency within the force, the Nigerian Police Force has taken steps such as reinforcing the IGP monitoring unit and the complaint response unit based at the force headquarters to arrest violators and prosecute after dismantling the checkpoints.
We are equally aware of the challenge posed by the continued presence of unauthorized persons on the various highways around the country in the guise of revenue collection, who constantly constitute nuisance on the highways by obstructing the flow of traffic and engaging in mischievous activities such as the seizure of vehicles, collection of fines, and other unlawful activities. All state commissioners of police are hereby directed to immediately commence the dismantling of such non-security checkpoints within their areas of responsibilities and arrest all violators for prompt prosecution.
He maintained that directive has earlier been given to all state commissioners of police to CRU officers in their respective state command headquarters as part of the force commitment to combating corruption and improve professionalism in the Nigerian police force, adding that commissioners of police who are yet under its administration by the police force in the last 5 weeks.
Our committed officers have demonstrated relentless determination in upholding law and order through meticulously planned and well-coordinated operations driven by actionable intelligence. The Nigerian police force has effectively disrupted multiple infamous criminal syndicates involved in organized crimes, leading to arrests of 288 armed robbery suspects, 1 defilement and other sexual offenses, 265 suspected cause crimes.
The IGP, however, declared that the police is poised to support the efforts of government by providing the needed security and enabling environment for all legitimate businesses and other economic activities in the country, adding that any attempt by scrupulous elements to sabotage the economic revival will be met with stiff opposition from the police force. Kike Lomo Okeri, Global Television News, Abuja.
News Express coming to you live from Nigeria's capital, Abuja. We're on Star Times channel 276. Kindly follow us across social media platforms using @GlobalTVNG and other handles now showing on your screen. When Global TV News Express returns, Diamond Link Amosambu may set to bounce back in Oregon. We'll tell you more about this and more after the break. Please don't go away. Welcome back, and this is Global Television bringing you live broadcast of the News Express from Nigeria's capital. The United States heads of Air Force in Europe and Air Forces in Africa have said the U.S. military have resumed operations in Niger, flying drones and other aircraft out of air bases in the country, more than a month after the coup halted activities since July. The coup that removed President Mohamed Bazoum. The nearly 1,100 U.S. soldiers deployed in the West African country have been confined in their military bases. In the meantime, the junta has continually faced a series of severe constraints. The coup leaders have already put an end to the single-window system set by Mohamed Bazoum to limit embezzlement of funds and corruption in the public administration. As a result, revenue from custom and tax services is again paid into the public treasury account, which will allow the junta to freely plunder public funds. United Nations Under-Secretary General for Humanitarian Affairs and Emergency Relief Coordinator Martin Griffiths on Friday has said it is unable to determine the extent of damage done by Storm Daniel. After a storm on Sunday, 2 dams of the Wadi Derna burst, unleashing torrents of water and leaving nearly 4,000 people dead, 10,000 missing, and an entire neighborhood in ruins. Roads that were already in poor state were cut, and access to some affected areas became impossible. The UN has launched an appeal for more than $71 million to aid the hundreds of thousands in need.
Again, in Libya, where access to Derna is still so difficult, where there's a compounded problem of the problems of the dams breaking as well as the storm breaking from the sea, this is a tragedy in which climate and capacity has collided to cause this terrible, terrible tragedy. The problem, we're not there yet in Libya. We don't know the extent of the problem. The floods and the torrents and the destroyed buildings and the sludge still conceal the level of need and death.
Tens of thousands of people rallied in cities across Germany.
in which
Joining
climate
on Friday at climate protests, urging Councillor Olaf Skims of government to do more for environmental protection, bearing posters with slogans like "System change, not climate change," or "I'd rather be in school if planet was cool." Around 12,000 people marched in Berlin alone in a demonstration organized by Fridays for Future movement. Huge crowds reaching 10,000 also turned up in major cities including Hamburg and Munich. Once a regular event for students holding school strike, the Friday rallies have become less frequent in Germany lately, with some climate activists turning instead to more radical models of protest, such as holding sit-in at busy roads, junction, or highways. Nigerian sprint star and world record holder in 100 meters hurdles, Tobilola Amusan, hoped to bounce back this weekend for the setback she suffered at the 2024 World Athletics Championship in Budapest, as they take part in this year's Diamond League in Oregon, United States. Also, world silver medalist in the long jump, Ese Brume, will be among those competing. Rather, both top-rated athletes will use the competition as a possible period to redeem themselves after the 2023 World Cup Championship nosedive. Apart from the famous 12 minutes 12 seconds world record, which she set in the semi-final last year at Oregon, Amusan also ran a marginally win-assisted 12 minutes 6 seconds to capture the gold medal in the evening. Another Nigerian athlete, Ese Brume, is among the finalists for the long jump top prize at the Diamond League this weekend. Brume narrowly missed out in the medal zone in Budapest, finishing fourth. She is back at the same Oregon where she picked a silver medal last year during the 18th World Championship. Though Brume has not been so fantastic this season, many believe anything can happen in the Diamond League after the final. To the end of the Global News Express, here's a summary of our major stories. VP Shettima says international cooperation path to resolve global challenges. Federal government improve railway workers' welfare. Plus, NIS to commence 24,000 passport daily production. Well, that's it on the Global TV News Express, and it came to you live from Nigeria's capital, Abuja. We are on StarTimes channel 276. Kindly follow us across social media platforms using @GlobalTVNG and other handles now showing on your screen. I am Fauziya Lukman, thanking you so very much for watching. Good evening.